Let's see. Good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Rogers, and we're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in the beautiful Frederick, Colorado. Today we're going to be going over Newmar's new Grand Star. So this is the 3444. It's an under 35-foot Super C, so you're going to get a lot of accessibility and to more state and national parks compared to a lot of the other Super Cs. They just started building this. If you watch some of our other videos, I presented a few of them at the Newmar dealer conference about a month ago. So cool things I like about it, it's under 35 foot. It's actually 34 foot and 10 inches. Again, more park accessibility, and it's on the S2RV chassis. So what that means to you, it's a 360 horsepower, 800 pounds of torque, and it can tow 12,000 pounds. So it's the same motor that's going to be in a lot of those 40-foot Super Cs. So you get a little bit better power to weight ratio. So we're going to start over here, this front right side, passenger side, and we're just going to go through everything on the exterior, then make our way in. So on a Super C, you'll have a little bit of storage on the outside, but you'll mainly have more storage on the inside. So down here is just a large storage compartment. There is a light in here. It is heated and enclosed. You can actually see one of the baffles for the Oasis system right there. So that, and then these fabric pieces are for protect the rollers from the slide during transport when you get them new from the factory. Up above it, you're going to have an exterior TV with a sound bar. There's also outlet out here with USB and USB-C. So if you want to plug up any further exterior accessories, you can. The TV, the main door, and the few of these compartments are all going to be the exterior awning on this. So this one is going to be a little bit larger of a storage compartment. So you'll have, it's all felted and insulated down here. It'll help with sound deadening underneath. If you pan up, you can actually see how a lot of it, even more insulation for sound dampening and protection in the floor from the elements. This does have a tile floor in it, so Newmar does send you with some tiles that are from the factory batch, so you're not mismatching tiles if you break one. The entry door here, 2-stage lock, so heavy duty, 3 steps, come pretty low to the ground, so it's easy to get in and out. You do have a nice large screen door on it, and then it does have the lock at the top, so you're less likely to get hit in the face when it's windy outside. Next compartment, it's going to have your central vacuum. You can see one of your tanks up here. Each of the tanks on this do have 110 volt heating pads on them, so it's just going to be even more protection from that cold weather. They're trying to make sure you have as extended season camping as you can have. Central vacuum with all the hose accessories out here, so you could clean the exterior compartments. There's also a foot pedal inside and another place to plug the hose in to help you clean inside. And then there's also another outlet down here. As we work our way back, you can actually see this one does have the Onyx Blackout package on it. So as we go around, you'll have the black American racing wheels on it. You'll have the black stainless steel trim at the bottom. And then when we get back to the front, you'll actually have some black accessories on the front. Tiny storage compartment. This is where your freshwater tank is. So you have your low point drain to drain the tank. And then you can also see for the breather for the gravity fill, as well as tank sensors. Down here, you're going to have your 6 6-volt house batteries, so it'll give you plenty of energy for all your off-grid needs and plenty of amp hours to run like the residential fridge and a bunch of your outlets. So this coach is an all-electric coach. It does have a 2,000 watt inverter on it. So you'll have quite a few inverted outlets inside, and then your fridge will run off it as well. Up above it, you'll have a nice longer and larger storage bay up here, and that'll help you put like fishing poles, some collapsible tables, anything like that that's not going to fit in the small storage compartments. Back here, you'll have your Victron inverter. So new to 2026, Newmar actually switched to Victron Energy for their inverter needs. So it's just a higher grade inverter, more efficient and better at charging all of the systems and operating the systems, and it's a lot cleaner energy compared to a lot of the other inverters out there. Up above that, you'll see your gray tank back here as well. So again, all heated and enclosed in here, as well as heating pads on them. So once we approach the back here, you'll have a nice big rear fiberglass cap. You'll get to see more of that Onyx package with the Blackout badging. So it has Grand Star all embossed in black. Towards the top, you'll have your rear view camera. You will have side cameras mounted towards the bottom of the coach, so you can see those smaller cars or smaller vehicles as you're driving this. Since it's on the S2 chassis, you're pretty high up off the road. Down below, they utilize a Gen Y hitch, so you already have your seven-way plug back here. This hitch is rated for 12,000 pounds as well as 1,200 pounds of vertical weight, so it's actually a very beefy hitch. You don't have to worry about that. Down below, you do have your mud flap. It's also black, has black badging for that Onyx package, so it just gives it that much cleaner of a look to tie it all together. Your next compartment back here, you'll have a drain for your gray tank. So a little bit of storage. They make it where you can run the hose out through the bottom right there. And then there's also your dump valve. And they give you a little extra cap just for that added protection on that gate valve. In here is mainly going to be your electrical stuff. You'll have your coax input right here. You'll have a 33-foot power core reel, and you can run it through here so you can keep this compartment closed in the winter. Your surge protector is in here. Your power management system's in here. Slide room brains are all in here. And then that surge protector is also your auto transfer switch. So it's manual pull out, and then you would just hit the button to reel it in. And then you also, again, like a year or two, they started implementing this clear view panel to get a lot easier access to electrical. So it's a main hub for everything, instead of having to fish through all the wires inside of the coach, hoping you can find it. Out here, you're going to have an 8,000 watt quiet diesel generator. So it is Onan. So pretty much going to have that in most of your high-end coaches. 8,000 gives you plenty of power for anything you need in this. Right above that, this is the dryer vent for inside. So Newmar actually puts it on and paints over it so it matches the rest of the coach, where a lot of other manufacturers will have it where it's just that silver dryer vent and you can see it from a mile away. Diesel fill is on this side. We'll move forward a little bit onto the next one. So this one's going to be your water bay. So starting at the top of it, you can actually see the black tank, and again, heating pad glued to the bottom. You'll see the gear for the slide room mechanism, because this utilizes one big full wall slide on the driver's side. Fresh water filter here, city water connection, black tank flush, directing your diverter for your water when it's coming in. Outdoor shower out here, LED light, and then this is also the drain for your black tank. Your low point drains in here, as well as the water pump in here. So again, heated enclosed compartment, water pump's easily accessible, so if it ever burns out on the road or anything, you can get a water pump from most places and you can change it out yourself right here, instead of having to rip apart cabinets. You'll have another storage compartment here, a little more access to electrical, but they finish everything off so you don't have it all sticking out. So again, this one's an all-electric coach. So this has the Oasis Chinook on it. So that's going to act as your continuous hot water heater, or your water heater, and your furnace. So in here, just a little bit of chassis components. You'll have the hydraulic pump and the reservoir, for your auto leveling and some slides. You'll have your 2 chassis batteries. You'll have a fuel oil filter, and then you'll also have the tank for your Oasis. Right here, you'll see one of your cameras. So they do have that mounted like at or below the belt line, so you can see all of those low, the smaller vehicles or anything that's driving next to you. So you're less likely to, you can be more cautious on the road. Yeah. So this being the S2RV chassis, you do have an air ride seat. So ignition's gonna be over here. You do have a chassis disconnect mounted right here in the right, so that recently got moved there. So that would kill the entire batteries for down there. The air seat can be done right here. You also have lower lumbar support, and as well as upper back support, and then the seat does recline with this lever. So adjust it wherever you need to, and then you can adjust sliding it forward or back with the rails, and then the settings up here. As we work our way around, so Jody is going to get a nice good front shot of this. So with that Onyx package, you get the blacked out grille, the black Newmar badge up front, and then the bumper is painted black, and then as well as your side mirror. So it just gives it a little bit more of an aggressive look up front, as well as cleaner, and it ties it all together. So this one being the S2RV chassis, so you have the Cummins ISB block. It's a 6.7 liter. So what that means is a customer, it's 360 horsepower and 800 foot-pounds of torque. So plenty of towing capacity and plenty of power for this size motorhome. Because again, they use this for 38, 39 foot Super Cs. Everything up here is easily accessible. The coolant levels, oil levels, windshield wiper fluid, your air filter reset. It's very easy to work on, and you'll have a lot more accessibility when it comes to service centers whenever you have a Super C versus like a Class A diesel where everything's in the back. This does have a gas assisted strut, so I let go of it and it'll slowly close itself down. That way you don't have to worry about holding a 200 or 300 pound hood up. While you're walking towards the front, you can actually see all the frameless windows. So even though this is meant to be like an entry-level Super C, Newmar still kept all of their nice touches on it. You still have the masterpiece paint job, the Onyx package for all the black, the frameless windows. They didn't skimp out on any of the details when it comes to this, even though they were trying to hit the entry level, because they've built the higher end Super Cs for a while. As we walk in here, you'll actually have 2 deep compartments in the stairwells. So one here, and then an even deeper one here that goes down to the bottom of that first step, if you saw that. As you're walking in the door, they started implementing a master ceiling light switch as well as a cargo light switch down there. And this is all tile, or the solid surface here, so it makes it easier to clean, less likely to get damaged, and just overall a better aesthetic for it. As we come in, you'll have the central vacuum system located in the middle of the coach. So foot sweep, and then as well as the spot for the hose. All right, Jody, if you want to step in, I'll get the slides open.
We do have a question for you, too.
Okay.
The question is, and repeat it, Jeffrey would like to know if this chassis comes with adaptive cruise control.
Jeffrey would like to know if this chassis comes with adaptive cruise control. I am not 100% certain on that, so we'll look at it once we get to the front, at the front of the chassis, and I can turn it on. So first thing we'll do is we'll pan around while the slides are closed on this one. So again, 34 foot, 10 inches long, so not a super large motorhome, but still very accessible. Still get to the sink, still get to the fridge, can still get back in here, and then walk way back into the bathroom. So still very usable motorhome closed. This one being a smaller one, the bed is actually a tilt bed, so when the slide is closed, the bed is in the upright position. So if you wanted to take a nap, you'd have to lay sideways on the bed or use the couch or the dinette. Okay. So we'll go ahead and open up the slides. While we're doing this, we can talk about some of the controls up here because this takes a second. So starting from left to right, you'll have the house battery disconnect. You'll have the step on and off switch. So if you close the door, leave the door open. Right now it's set to off. So the step will come in, the step will stay where you leave it. Block heaters for the chassis, where that colder weather, especially Colorado. Patio lights for the outside light. Wine guard is for TV as well as your antenna booster. Awning controls, awning light. This slide room control is for the driver slide, the full wall one we'll see in a second. Your power management system, and then this is the controller for the Victron. So you can choose the current, what's coming in, as well if it's operating as a charger, the inverter is turned off, or if it's operating as an inverter and a charger. So it usually tells you what's going on with it. And they have that right above the steps, so it's a lot easier to get to than having to slide through the motorhome while it's all closed up. So I'm going to go back here and open up this bedroom slide. So 34 foot long, you do have two slides in it. You have the bed slide and then you have the full wall slide that we just opened up. So once we get everything opened in this, it's going to feel quite spacious, again, just for being a smaller size. So they did a really good job at designing this floor plan, especially implementing that full wall slide. It gets rid of that narrow hallway feel that you have in a lot of them with when you go past the bathroom. Alrighty, let's go to the front and we'll go over the sleeping arrangements. So with this chassis, you have an overhead cab up here. The overhead cab has the bed, has a ladder, so it makes it easier to get in and up. And then one cool thing that Newmar's been doing recently is you have a big window up there. So you have an electric shade for opening and closing it. You have vents up there to keep from cooking whoever's up there, as well as you can see how thick the paneling and the walls are as far to insulate it up there even when that window's open. So it lets in a lot of natural light, but if you don't want it or you're going to bed, you just simply press the switch and close it. Up here on the left and the right side, we can just show the one over here. You do have two outlets. Both outlets have USB and USB-C. So just a little bit more access to power because everybody needs it, as well as having cubbies on both sides where you can set phones, an alarm clock, whatever you may need for those outlets. But it is a very large bed up here, so 2 kids, 2 adults or anything will fit up here just fine. It just tapers down towards that front. And the ladder you just throw up here when you're not using it until you find a place where you want to store it. Do have privacy for up there so that they can block out, and then if you're using this, if you're parked at a campsite, you do have privacy for up here so you can block off that whole front section. Right over here, we'll set this off to the side. So the first thing we'll do is down the passenger side. So this is going to be kind of your entertainment area. You'll have your booth dinette. It's a dream dinette. So this actually flips down to a bed. You'll pick up these cushions and just slide it down all the way. And then there's a cushion in that back closet that you'd put in this center to make a one child bed back here. This right seat, or the rear seat, depending on your orientation, it does have 1 seat belt in it, so you can put someone there. Up above this, well, you have day and night shades. So right now I got all the day shades down for Jody, so it's easier on the camera for him and not so much light transition. But you do have the blackout shades for whenever you want to sleep in. They do finish the valances on the left, on both sides, so what that does is block out even more of that natural light and you don't have it creeping from the sides. The frameless windows tilt out so you can get that nice airflow without, even when it's raining outside. Today, Colorado, it's kind of hot, so we don't really want it. It's upper 70s and nice and sunny. Above that, Bose soundbar, and then you'll have a smart TV here. Storage on the left and right sides, and then up above, it does go all the way back, but it's very hard to get up there right now. You'll have a little AV spot up high, and then 2 more storage spots over here. So again, more AV stuff, your satellite inputs, outlets, cable inputs, the JBL sticker with a QR code, just for a little more information on it. And then more storage up here. On both sides of the dinette, you do have more outlets, so if someone wants to work remote or charge laptops, iPads, depending on the person or kid, there's still, again, plenty of places to charge it. Down below, you do have smaller storage spots. So when I pull that all the way out, you can actually see that seat belt tucked away in there. All right. The couch up here. So the couch does, this one was optioned with it instead of recliners. So it is optional sleeping. When you grab this, there's usually a handle, but it's tucked away right now. You can grab this from the bottom, pull out, step out of the way, and then lay it down. And then the back piece converts to the rest of the bed. So there's 2 more seat belts on this one. So 2 more lap belts, and then 1 lap belt there and 2 up front. So you could seat 5 in this safely. One of the easier beds to convert, and not as many safety latches on it too, so less likely to pinch your hand. Storage up above, and it's one big pass-through storage, so if you want to put the bigger pans, larger games, anything like that up here, you know, RVs are always lacking in storage, so the more they give you, the little bit better. We'll work our way down to the kitchen. So you do have sink covers, 1 big stainless farm sink, and then you also have covers for the induction cooktop. So counter space is always crucial in these, especially the smaller ones. So you could take whatever you can get. In Newmar fashion, the induction cooktop is still removable. So you can take it, pull it outside, plug it in. And then up above, large cabinet, the paint codes for the chassis, the vehicle weights on the right side, your original owner's manuals, and then more owner information all right here. Convection microwave with air fry. Down below, we'll go through all these storage compartments. Someone asked to open them all at once, so we'll do a little better job at that. Sample or touch-up paints, remotes, again, more owner's manuals. You'll have all the different drawers. So even though this is Newmar's entry level, you still have soft close on all of them. So this one is a huge compartment in the kitchen. A lot of the times this is usually chopped in half and a bunch of plumbing and stuff back here. And as always, the little sponge holder up top. This one was equipped with the dishwasher. So Fisher and Paykel. And we went through that one already. So what we'll do, keep working our way down the side, and then we'll work our way back up front. It's a Whirlpool residential fridge. It does have an ice maker in it. So when you're driving down the road, this is running off your inverter. Your chassis is charging your house batteries, or you could have the generator on, also charging your house batteries. So you have you can have many, many hours of the fridge on and not have to worry about it with those 6 batteries that are down there. Next, you'll have your pantry. So it's the push to lock. And there's 6 drawers total, as well as a little bit of space at the bottom. So if you want to put more stuff down on the bottom, depending on, you know, the length of your arms, really, you can put whatever you want in there. So now we'll work our way back to the bedroom. You have a pocket door, goes all the way across. So still gaps at the bottom and the top, so you get a little bit of ventilation. Make sure it's not getting hot and cold spots in the motorhome. You'll have a mirror and hanging storage on both sides of the wardrobe. So this is that pillow we were talking about in the center for up front. So we'll set that out for now. Ample hanging storage, light, and then all the model and serial numbers for everything that's equipped in this RV. So if you ever have to reference anything, it's easy to get to. Down below, this is the dryer. So they actually split the washer and dryer on the bottom, the left and the right sides of it. So we'll see the washer in a moment. They did that so you get more hanging space as well as just a little bit more space. Again, you know, 34-foot motorhome. They're trying to give you all those creature comforts of a high-end motorhome, but in a tighter package. Smart TV in the bedroom, adjustable shelf, more AV cabinet stuff. You put whatever your heart desires back there. Them just trying to utilize all the small spaces. 2 kind of deep drawers right below the TV. Then we have 3 drawers below that. Washers on this side. So one thing that they thought of is actually cutting out the countertop here, so it makes it easy to pour your detergents and stuff in through the top and not forgetting about it. So a little bit more engineering went into that. And then the other hanging closet. So not super important for most people, but these false panels down here, one's a cabinet door. It's going to be for your breakers for the entire motorhome. And then the other one is going to be a false panel that pops off, and there's going to be more electrical stuff back there. So you do have a big window in the bedroom, as well as windows on both sides of the bed, so it doesn't feel like a cave back here. Whereas a lot of the time you'll lose a lot of the openness, the open feeling that you get. Alrighty, so if you want to stay back here, I'm going to set this up front so it's out of the way. They do a king bed back here. You can see that all the decorative pillows and the cushions that they put. The bed, it is a tilt bed, so when the slide's in, the bed has to be up, but you can lower it down, and then it goes all the way flat. 2 large cabinets. They do go all the way across. So you do have the outlet and then the drop down for CPAPs. I'm running the hosing through there. Again, more day and night shades, and then opening windows. So these ones actually open all the way up instead of just tilting out, so even better for those night sleepers that want that cross ventilation. You do have outlets on both sides of the beds, as well as little nightstands, and then a small cubby down below them. Not going to put much in there, but you know, every little nook and cranny matters with these. Underneath the bed, you'll have one little storage compartment. So storage under there. And you can also access it when that bed is up. So the front portion of that compartment actually pops out right here. So whenever the bed is tilted up, you can still get in that cubby. So we'll raise this back up for now. All right. Then again, so since they did the full wall slide, you actually have a lot of space in here. I'm not a very large person, but they do get tight. RVs can get tight when they make the little hallways next to the bathroom. So next stop we'll do is bathroom in this unit. So they do a mid bath in it, being 35 foot, so you can get to it from the front and the rear of the coach. They utilize pocket doors, so you're not doing any of that hallway shuffle. So porcelain bowl, foot flush in it, blackout shade in here for privacy, but still an opening window and still an opening vent fan up top just for added ventilation. Big cabinets in here. So this one was optioned with Starlink from the factory, so you'll see your Starlink box up in that top cabinet. And then medicine cabinet in here. They use the above counter bowl because you can throw stuff in it as well as make use of that little bit of storage that's underneath it. Kind of whatever your heart desires for putting under there. Little bit of storage under there, pre-mounted toilet paper holder so you don't have to mount your own. Drawers. And then little cubby. So the last part of this is the shower. The shower is actually huge for a 35 footer. So you got plenty of elbow room, plenty of space in here. You got a little shelf in it. You have the two heads, so wand as well as the fixed shower head. It's a fiberglass shower, so if you damage it, drop something, it's completely repairable. You don't have to fix it depending on how bad you damage it. It's 3-piece glass panel, so a little bit easier to clean. It does have the travel lock on it. And then it's also equipped with a shower miser, so that's just a water recirculatory system, so you're not wasting your fresh water. It'll pump while the water's heating up, this will be blue, and then once the water gets hot, that'll change colors, and what it's doing is circulating that fresh water. Instead of going down the drain, it's putting back in the fresh tank since it's still fresh water. And then once you switch it back to the open setting is when it'll send it to the shower head. And then you just have hot water without waiting for that water to heat up through the entire line. So for this, we'll go into the control panel. So below it, fantastic fan. So you do have two fans in this one, two Fantastics, one in the bathroom and then one above us where we're standing for the kitchen area. The home button is going to be like your main displays. So this is where you'll turn on your tank heating pads, one of the places to turn on your water pump, as well as you can see your battery levels as well as your tank levels. And then you get a few master light switches. Auto gen set, that's where you set up your battery voltages or your HVAC system. So it'll determine how your generator cuts on, how long it runs, and then what parameters is it going to turn on for. Like if you have pets, a lot of people do HVAC just to make sure this thing stays cool during the summer. This one was optioned with floor heat in it, so you do have 3 zones of floor heat. The front portion, the middle portion, which is going to be your kitchen and bathroom, and the back, which is going to be your rear bedroom. HVAC, so this has 2 15K ACs with heat pumps. Right now we have the ACs on, so we're not sweating like crazy while we do these videos. You would just cycle through the mode. You could do cool, heat pump, and then furnace. Your furnace is going to use that Oasis. Off to the right, this is how you would turn on your Oasis. So it has a diesel burner as well as 2 electric elements in it. So it can just heat up the water and heat up the air and make it that much warmer in here that much quicker. So a lot of people use burner and both electric elements when they need hot water fast or if they're trying to warm up the coach really fast. Bluetooth pair, you can control the majority of this panel through the app that you can download on your phone. Your lights, you'll go through each of the different zones of lights on this, as well as access to your master control panel again. The last few things we'll touch on before we go up to the chassis. So still Newmar fashion. You have the soft touch ceiling in there. It's going to help with that noise insulation as well as temperature insulation. You have the intakes as well as the vents running down the center of the coach. That way it's cooling down efficiently even when the slides are closed. Again, tile floor in this one. And then Jody, next to his feet, the Newmar actually switched to the patio weave in the slide room areas instead of carpet. Much easier to clean, a lot more stain resistant, just the overall better aesthetic that they, or higher grade aesthetic that they switched to through the years. So the last thing we really need to cover in here is going to be the chassis and see if we can answer that adaptive cruise control question. So you'll have a little bit of noise up here because this one is, it's a Super C, so it's a front engine diesel. We'll start over here. You'll have your display, radio, Sirius, Bluetooth, USB. If you connect your phone, this should have Apple CarPlay. You can see your different cameras as you're going through here. This will also be where your left and right side cameras will display when you switch over your turn signals. So a lot of cool features in here. Skipping, power, voice commands, and locking, it's all done right there. So down below it, you'll have your parking brake here, hazard lights here, a footwell light, the auto traction control setting here, fast idle switch here. So if like right now, we won't have it on for the video, but if we were sitting here idling for an extended period of time, you want to turn this on so you're not clogging up that filter. The generator starts can be done here, as well as the battery boost. So chassis and house can be linked in either direction right here. So if you kill one or kill the other, you link them and you can jump off whichever you need to do, especially since the generator's here as well as the chassis switch is here. Sometimes you need two people if the gen is in the back. You do have hydraulic leveling on this one, so you would just hit power, hit auto level, and then either get out of the coach or just stay still for a minute or two while it levels itself out. Dash AC controls are here. USB and USB-C charging is here. And then obviously a little bit of cup holders. So once we get over to the dash, the steering wheel adjustment is actually on the column for here. We'll drop that down. So for Freightliner, they implemented it a few years ago at this point. Everything's on the column. So your exhaust brake is as simple as flipping this up and down. And then drive and neutral is rotating this around. Manual and auto is just holding this and watch for it to change settings. And then paddle shifting is done with this. So you're not feeling around for that pad like you get on a couple of the others. Cruise control settings are all up here, as well as your voice commands. You can switch through any of the menus over here, your lights, as well as your light tests and cruise control. Horn, obviously, for your normal horn, air horn is up above. The left on the steering wheel is going to be up to navigate through your dash menu. All your gauges up here, you still have the normal gauges, RPM, oil pressure, fuel, and def. They have the def as a dial up here, so you can just reference that blue needle instead of having to see that little digital gauge or go out there and actually check the def tank. Air pressure, water temperature, and then your speed. So left side's gonna be wipers and blinkings, as well as your lights. Then you also have your headlight controls over here. On the left, where your arm would rest, you have your locking, your front window controls, the button for heated mirrors, as well as the switch for adjusting your top mirrors. So the top portion is electric, the bottom portion is manual, because usually you don't have to change it all that much, depending on the driver. Jeffrey, it doesn't look like this has adaptive cruise control on it, since I don't see any of the distance settings going through all this. So I'm going to say no for now, but I can do a follow-up for you on that. All right, so that's about everything on this one. So if you want more information on this, you can reach me direct.
I have one last question.
Okay, what's the last question?
What's the cargo capacity?
Cargo carrying capacity, that is it on the door of this one. Oh no, I know where it's at. Cargo carrying capacity is 8,863 pounds for this specific motorhome. So if you want any more information on this one, you can reach out to me directly. My name is Justin Rogers, and we're here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV. My cell phone is 404-936-6215. If you want to email me, if that's more comfortable for you, justin.rogers, R-O-G-E-R-S, @transwest.com. Have a good one, y'all.